This is John Paul Rye. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. Want to go over Chrissy Teigen here and how her and her husband, John Legend, the musician, called out Michael Jackson. Now, this video is not necessarily a defense for Michael Jackson, because I don't know so much about him, and I don't know if he was actually innocent or guilty. That's not the point. The point is that Chrissy Teigen is not exactly the right person to call out Michael Jackson. And the reason she might be calling him out is because maybe she has more to hide herself. As you can see in front of you, the tweets recently that surfaced by Chrissy Teigen are really strange. Which is why I found it odd that her and her husband were calling out Jackson. So I saw this on Twitter here, which made me think about it. Chrissy Teigen is on Twitter crying about how she has to constantly defend herself, they meant, against people who are calling her, well, you know the word. Yet, her and her husband have continuously slandered Michael Jackson and supported those people who falsely accused him. Karma is a beautiful thing. So, what I did was dug up an article about how John Legend actually did criticize Michael Jackson. Unfortunately, there's no direct quote from Chrissy in here. However, she is mentioned, so we can safely assume she's on the same page as John Legend. John Legend condemns Michael Jackson after disgusting Leaving Neverland documentary. Like I said, I've never seen it. I'll assume there were some pretty strange things in there. And again, not defending Michael Jackson, I honestly don't know. But these people who had these weird tweets themselves and say some weird things themselves could be calling him out to take attention off of themselves. John Legend says he has no reason not to believe victims Wade Robinson and James Safechuck. And he also has no reason to come out and give his opinion on this documentary. He could have just watched it and not mentioned it. John Legend has given his thoughts on Michael Jackson after watching the controversial Leaving Neverland documentary that aired on HBO on Tuesday night. Well, think about it. He's in his house watching this documentary, and why did he report that he watched it? The two-part documentary, which is set to air on Channel 4 in the UK on Wednesday night, details the alleged sexual abuse by Michael Jackson of two childhood stars, James Safechuck and Wade Robson. And here's the part about Chrissy Teigen. In an interview with the cruise show on Power 106 in Los Angeles, John said he and wife Chrissy Teigen were left heartbroken by the documentary's chilling claims. So, let me remind you what Teigen said on Twitter. Her very odd tweets, similar mindset to Michael Jackson and his mindset people were calling out about children. Which is why I'm saying it's a little odd that Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, who was her husband, called out Michael Jackson. And I have to assume that, John Legend doesn't have a problem with these tweets. I mean, they're by his wife. Maybe he wishes she didn't make them, but it's not like he came out and said anything against them. I could be wrong, but as far as I know, he's been silent on it. And then John Legend comes out and says this kind of unnecessary statement. Read this. Sad. I wonder what young black kids are thinking now that we glorify Michael Jackson, who went through such lengths to change his own complexion and have white kids. Interesting to think about in the context of the comments about the complexion of the kids at the pool. So first of all, it's strange for any kid to see somebody go from completely black to pretty much completely white, not just black kids. Also, I wish we didn't have to focus on color of skin so much. I just don't see a reason for it. Why not just come out and say, well, this looks really weird for kids to see Michael Jackson go through this, period. With all that's going on in the world, it just doesn't seem like it's necessary to bring color into everything. To be fair, this was before a lot of the political stuff going on now in the US. However, I think it's weird for any kid. Anyway, you guys let me know about my theory here. Mainly, they have no reason at all to call out Michael Jackson. Maybe they want people to perceive them as people who care about children and would never do anything weird with children. Meanwhile, as you guys know, Chrissy Teigen has these very strange tweets. Anyway, doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Gonna give a shout out to Heidi Border and Nibs. They've been here a long time. Gotta do more shout outs. There we go. As I was saying, if you're not subscribed, consider it. If you don't subscribe, well, I'll get over it, make a new video, something like that. See you next time.